That's weird. My mic just muted by itself. That's weird. Wasn't even near it. This thing's pinching on it. I don't know. That's weird. My mic muted by itself. I wouldn't. My hands weren't even near it. Anyway, my dogs are settling in. Is what I was starting to say. My dogs are settling in, and that's them underneath me stretching. So that's the plan for tonight. We've gone over pretty much the most popular of the Canaanite gods, and they all kind of, a lot of them just run together. And it's kind of funny because there's the Canaanite gods, which is like, Canaanite, Mesopotamia, all the like oldest places. And then you've got the Olympian spin-off, the Olympian god spin-offs, and then you got the spin-offs of those, and then you got the Egyptian spin-offs, and then you got the the Roman spin-offs, and anyway, so it's kind of funny because they all kind of do fuse together. It's like that game 6 Degrees of Separation, where you can really connect them all. But anyway, so tonight, and matter of fact, Hadad, the god of storm and fertility and thunder and all that, that god is called Baal Hadad. Because why? Because they're all kind of connected. So this one's connected to Baal, because we saw Baal had different, there was different gods that start out with Baal. So anyway, so you can see how at the end the God of Israel is just a melting pot of different gods, Canaanite gods, Mesopotamian gods. The Bible is like I said, it's definitely got some old texts in there from back then. Anyway, what else? Not too much else. It was Wednesday. I had a great day. Had to do some errands today, but mostly me and the dogs were working around the house, I guess, in the yard. You see, YouTube's got a fancy new name here. In fact, I signed on and the thing was like writing. I'll show you. Let's think. Oh, come on. Oh, I think back off. They've got like calligraphy writing. Oh, it's got a bad delay on it. Well, hey Grace, how you doing? Did you see YouTube's fancy writing? I think this thing's gonna come on. I don't know why it's doing this. This is weird. Greetings and shalom to you too. Yeah. So here's YouTube's fancy. YouTube. So fancy. Like the King James Bible. So fancy. And royal and fancy. Good to see you tonight, Grace. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope all is well in Graceland. Anyway, yeah, how was your day? It was beautiful. I think it rained. There's a couple little drops, though not much. I had already watered my garden in the afternoon, and it was even after that, I guess. So we didn't have much. Just a little bit of rain, but nice. Grass always likes it. Garden likes it. All is expensive in Graceland, is it? Yeah. All is expensive. Yeah. I've never been to Graceland. I don't think I would. It seems creepy. And I have a feeling that Elvis really did live upstairs when the whole time people were visiting. Because nobody could go upstairs to the living quarters. Really, how hard would it be for him to really be living there? And just go take off at whenever he wants out of the garage in his blacked out limo. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be hard to pull it off. So anyway, yeah, never been there. I worked with a girl, a very good friend of mine. We worked for many years in the doctor's office. I was in the nursing, but she was the receptionist, and we got to be best friends. In fact, we went to Las Vegas together in 1995 after my divorce. And anyway, we were really good friends. But she was the biggest Elvis fan I've ever seen, besides who JL on YouTube. But yeah, she was a huge Elvis fan. And her birthday was like a day apart from Elvis. It was weird. But anyway, and her mom was an Elvis fan, and they had everything. The shaking hips Elvis clock. They had all that stuff. Yeah, she was awesome, man. We ended up we worked there for, I don't know, I was there 13 years. She was there probably a year longer than me. And she quit right after I did, right after. And she got a job with the county welfare department, and I went a different direction. Spent nearly $3,000 on a car and truck repairs last week. Today we have a gas leak. Need to tear down a wall, replace both the water heater and the water softener on it. Oh no, when it rains it pours, huh? Oh, you're kidding. Yes, it just seems like that. I had a water leak the other day. It freaked me out, man. I didn't know where it was coming from. It's all over the place. I was feeding the dogs, putting their food down, and they're looking at me weird. I'm thinking, why aren't they eating? And I thought, oh my goodness, there's water coming up from under my desk. Anyway, no, it was just terrible. But I'm so sorry to hear that, Grace. That is really expensive. That is expensive in Graceland. $3,000 on a car and truck repairs. Wow. Tear down a wall. I'm sorry to hear that, Grace. That's terrible. Wow, that sucks. I bought a water heater when I moved in here. I can't remember what it is, like an average family one, 50 gallons or what, I can't remember. But mine was propane because I have run off propane. But so mine was a little bit more expensive, but it was a very nice one. It was like 700, I think. Or no, not even. That was what the guys putting it in. But the hot water heater wasn't that as expensive as I thought. But yeah, it all adds up, man. Need a new furnace before winter. All I can do is laugh since I'm not onto the scam people like certain YouTube. Yeah. Oh, come on, Grace. You should put up a video telling everybody it's the end of the world. In the 9th month, we're going to be out of here, but we quickly want to do some furnace repairs and for the people left behind, of course. Can't believe people are falling for that scam over there. I can't believe that. Can't believe it. He thinks he's convinced everybody they're getting raptured in September, yet right now he's going to start some new projects that cost $20,000. Yeah, $20,000. Yeah. Actually, Grace, you got to go sit in your car somewhere and do the video. It seems to work on for people. Sit behind the wheel in your car. You just tell people you've had some hard times and whatever. And then, to give them the links and stuff. I mean, I'm going to put a PayPal link up on my channel at some point because I really do have expensive. It's cost me at least. What do we add up? I got receipts for my StreamYards and everything. But yeah. You never know, Grace. Somebody might step up and buy that furnace for you. You just never know. I mean, if he can do it, not only that, but he specifically tells them he's now looking into online. Oh, then you can't like. Listen, if I had to write a script about the crookedest person on YouTube, I couldn't even write this. I couldn't even make up a character like that. And yeah, now he's looking into people who scam people online for like 20 grand. Well, he just did the same exact thing. Yeah, it is funny. I couldn't even make that up. I don't think anybody can write that script. Just scams everybody for 15 grand, then tells everybody he's looking into some guy from Africa who's scamming people for 20 grand. It's called projection and deflection. Actually, you could go both ways on that one. Yeah, every 6 months or so. Yes, he does. Same scam every 6 months. But, it's a new crowd every 6 months. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I believe in karma. Not even, I mean, maybe for the next life, whatever, but I believe in karma for this life. And I believe what comes around goes around. And I believe that I am blessed with what I have because I had plenty of opportunities in my line of work. I could have robbed people from a lot of money. And I didn't every time. And I always got like a little rewards for doing that. And then just like looking back, it seems like God really blessed me for all the times I could have easily gotten away with thousands and thousands of dollars, but I never did. Because I always believed that God would punish me for stuff like that. And anyway, I just feel like not only did, I did it because I didn't want to get punished by God and all that, but also I believe I got rewarded in the long run for that. Yeah, the games are over. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, Vikings are starting. Football is starting soon, isn't it? Football season, I think they're already in the pre-games. Or preseason, I mean. All right, so anyway, well, sorry about that, Grace. It sounds like one of those when it rains, it pours things. So sorry to hear that. That's no fun. All right. It does seem like it happens like that. It seems like one problem will lead to a couple different problems, or all of a sudden, like a couple things will come out of nowhere, 2, 3 things at once. And then it's like calm for a while after you put the fires out and all that. And it's calm for a while. And then a couple, 2, 3 things will happen at once. It's just like, man, I have a family, a roof over my head, a pillow to sleep on, food in the cupboard, count my blessings every day. Amen to that, Grace. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And my kid, amen to that. Amen to that. Yep. I always say, remember Little House on Prairie? Their family, the Ingalls, were getting made fun of from the Olsons, the rich people, because they had no money. And anyway, the girl said, "I'm the richest girl in Walnut Grove," or whatever. Yeah, so I feel like that too. I live in a Grove Township too. I actually live in a different grove, but I do live in a grove. And I always say, I'm the richest girl in this Grove Township. Yep. It is a long list. That's right. You can all count our blessings rather than our problems. And they all seem to always work out in the end, you know what I mean? But it sucks. Sucks having that all that hit at once like that. I don't know, I got money like that. I got no money. for any emergencies. I got no wiggle room, man. When something happens, it's just like, ah. Anyway, time to pull money out of my rear end, out of thin air, I guess. All right, I'm gonna find the pictures of Baal Hadad, the storm god, lightning, thunder god. Hadad. Hadad. The storm and grain god. Rain. Not grain, not to be confused with a grain god. That's a different god. It's a rain god and storm. Which, by the way, brings what? Life, right? All right. Time to learn how to make diamonds from orifice. Yeah, how to make diamonds from orifices. Yeah, orifices. Yeah, that's sometimes you gotta do that, huh? Seems like it. All right, where's this guy's picture? Let's see. He is. Well, actually, here's a picture of him. And like I said, they all have like I said, I can't zoom in on this, but anyway, there's a picture of him. He's holding thunder and lightning. I think that those wiggly things. I need a better mouse, but anyway, try to do what I can here. All right, so there is Hadad, the god of. Let me see if I can get this a little closer. Maybe. Maybe you can see him. They're kind of holding him. They're carrying him on. Oh, don't lose it away there. I don't know if it's the lowest I can go on this. Anyway, god of thunder, hurricanes, storms, thunder and rain, and like I said, then they all have a spin-off and a spin-off and a spin-off, just like TV shows do. And so, like a different culture will get a hold of like that. They'll know this same God, but they'll have just a different name for it. He abode. He lives in heaven. That's his house. It lives in heaven. The symbol is the thunderbolt, the bull, and the lion. So he's got bull horns, by the way. Bull horns. And he's holding thunder and lightning, I think. Thunderbolt. Parents, most common tradition, Anu, sometimes Enlil, Sin. That's funny. Sin. And Nagel and Dagon. Remember Dagon, the fish god? Siblings is Atu and Nana, consort Sheila. Anyway, this is kind of the more interesting thing here. The equivalents. So Baal Hadad, the storm god, to the Greeks, he's Zeus, the big one, Zeus, and which is, also, the same one and huge in Roman, Jupiter. Canaanites is Baal, because this is just a spin-off of Baal. Egyptian equivalent, Horus. So they're like the top dogs. Oh, here, oops, here's a picture with the Ankh. We've gone over all of these, actually. So we're going to wrap this series up tomorrow. Anyway, I thought it had the areas, but maybe not. But anyway, it's up Syria, it's up Mesopotamia, Canaanite. this picture back there again. So Hadad, Adad, Akkadian is pronounced Adad or Ishur, Sumerian, was a storm and rain god in the Canaanite and ancient Mesopotamian regions, or religions, I should say. He was attested in Ebla as Hadda, Hadda, but he could also be Haddad or Haddad. And this is all 2500 BC. From the Levant, Hadad was introduced to Mesopotamia by the Amorites, which you hear about in the Bible, where he can become known as the Akkadian, Assyrian, Babylonian god Hadad. I mean, these are all kind of intertwined, you know what I mean? So it's really no use to go over 24 of them because they're already overlapping. I don't know how many we've gone over, but... And that's why I think at the end of the day, the people in Israel, the Jews and the Israelites and all that, they just decided, you know what, we're just going to go with Isis, Ra, and El, because that covers a whole bunch of them, and it's Is, Ra, El. It's all three of them. They just settled on because that covers everything, and the plagues, the storms, the babies, the fertility, all of it. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, something weird with all that. I'll tell you that. So, all right, let's see. Oops, can you see him? Oops, which way going there? So, Hadad was also called Pedar and Rapu, Baal Zaphon, or simply Baal, Lord. But this title was also used for other gods. The bull was a symbolic animal of Hadad. See the bull horns? And he appeared bearded. He's got the full beard, often holding a club. He's got a club. It looks like a tomahawk club. And a thunderbolt. There's the thunderbolts. While wearing a bullhorned headdress. So that's the headdress with the bullhorns. Hadad was equated with the Greek god Zeus, and that was like the top god over there in Greek, and the Roman god Jupiter also. And in the cult center near Dolichi in Asia Minor, he was addressed as Jupiter Delicanus, as well as Babylonian mythology Bel, B-E-L, Bel. The Baal cycle, also known as the epic Baal, is a collection of stories of Baal, the god Baal from the Canaanite area, who is also referred to as Hadad, the storm god. This collection of stories is dated between 1400 and 1200 BC and was found in Ugarit, an ancient city located in modern-day Syria. And we've shown where that Ugarit was. What's this? I seen that. I seen that when I blew the picture up. It's kind of weird. So it looks, yeah, it's funny you notice that. To me, it almost looked like maybe he had like chicken legs, but like man legs. You see the calf muscles and the regular feet. And then inside, it's either his bones, which doesn't make sense because you got one big femur on the top and then your tibia and fibula on before your feet. And that's not the case. There's not two. Well, is there? No, there's not really, because you would have the tibia up there from the hip to the knee. It almost look like bones. Like, yeah, it does look chicken legs over his. It does. So it's looking more like an animal because it's not. I was an X-ray technician, so I know what bones should look like. This is not human bones. The feet, not even the feet, because you got your ankle there. That is not the ball of a. That is not a heel bone. Anyway, that looks like an animal legs. I wonder if it says so on here. It's like human on the outside, kind of fat human legs, but on the inside, maybe it's kind of animal or bird leg or something. Anyway, Hadad was, all right, he's bearded, equated with Zeus, Jupiter, and Baal. All right. And this is interesting because they go on to this other stuff that's related, but I'm not going to go over this. But look at Hadad in Akkad and Sumer. This is that one of those very first, this is by Ur, the first cities that were ever built. This is the other one, Sumer, or however it's pronounced. That's one of the very first cities. So that's kind of interesting. That is interesting that they had, what is that? Is that supposed to be a god or something? Not, is that the place? Let's go look real quick because that's interesting. Where is that? Anyway, that's one of the very first cities by like Burr. Yeah, Yeah, like fur or burr. Yeah, So and Sumer. That's the other one. In the garden, by the Garden of Eden, the very first cities. In Mesopotamia, all that over there. Syria. All that Iraq, that's Canaanite. It's, anyway. But it's just crazy. Look at, they all have and we've gone through all these spin-offs too, you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. Let me shut this. Yeah, his legs are kind of funky. I don't know if they ever explained that. Maybe somewhere it's explained. I didn't see it. I didn't see where they got that. Hadad. Or Hadu. Was an important southwest Semitic storm and fertility god, identical with Akkadian weather god Hadad. Look at, it's just Hadad, just has an H in front of it. Same name as Hadad, but they just put an H. So, yeah, one people called him Hadad, and the other people called him Hadad. The Akkadians called him Hadad, and the Hebrews and the Canaanites called him Hadad. Anyway, Hadad is often called simply Baal. Baal, Lord. Is frequently equated with the biblical Baal, but this title is also used for other gods. As the god of rain, thunder, and fertility, Hadad is also related to the Babylonian Marduk and Antolian storm god Teshub, and Egyptian god Set. Remember Set? That's where your TV set comes from, the god of chaos and war. The Greek god Zeus and the Roman god Jupiter. In Canaanite mythology, it's what we're looking at. Hadad was one of the sons or grandsons of El. So in the Canaanite mythology, remember the other one? He was the god of, the son of, I can't remember which other one. But in Canaanite mythology, he is the son or the grandson of El himself. El. He rose to the head of the pantheon by slaying the sea god Yam. Remember Yam? I think we did Yam the other day. Much of the Babylonian Marduk became king. Much as the Babylonian Marduk became king of the gods by killing Tiamat, he was then challenged to overcome by Mot. Oh, we did when we saw Mot too. They make applesauce now. The god of death, and was saved and resurrected through the intervention of his sister/lover, Anat, bringing an end to a terrible drought. Well, good for them. Good brother, sister, husband, wife, teamwork there. As the controller of storms and bringer of rain, Hadad was both loved and feared by his people, and his propitiation was thought to ensure the return of life-giving water to the earth. In the Bible, he was one of many Baals. Isn't that crazy? Because, I mean, this is who they're worshiping, and then we see them fighting against the false prophets of Baal. Oh, duh! You know what? You know what just dawned on me? Remember that story of the false prophets of Baal and the big, Elijah story, you know what I mean, the fire and all that? What if it wasn't that they had a problem with Baal, but or even prophets of Baal? They just had a problem with the false prophets of Baal. Like the regular ones, the real ones, maybe they didn't have a problem. Maybe they didn't have a problem with Baal or the prophets of Baal. Maybe just the false prophets of Baal. Remember, they ate at Jezebel's table. They're false prophets. Maybe if they're real prophets, they wouldn't have a problem with them. I don't know. Because why are they worshiping Baal 1 minute? Anyway, considered to be the enemies of the Hebrew deity Yahweh, and was specific Baal opposed by the prophet Elijah, who proved that it was the God of Israel rather than Baal Hadad, who could bring an end to the drought that the plague had. So he's battling. So Elijah, you well know the story, right? What is it, 250 prophets, false prophets of Baal, or 450, or whatever it is. Anyway, so they're fighting between Baal, the god Baal, and Yahweh, and so the two gods are really like, it's a battle, like a dance off, a modern day, and so what if yeah, I mean, it's just weird how thousands, well, this is 2,500 to 1,500. 2,500, and the stories are still being told in the 1,500. So this is thousands of years ago. Now, thousands of years later, they just melted together. Yahweh, Baal, they melted all these together. Anyway, Baal opposed the prophet Elijah, who proved that was God of Israel rather than Baal Hadad, who could bring an end to the drought. I mean, it is a funny story. So anyway, I'm not going to read the rest. Baal Hadad, wow, they all look the same. Here it is. Baal Hadad statue near his temple in Ugarit. We've seen them on Ugarit on the map, in that old map. And he's got the champagne on ice. Actually, that looks more like a clown hat. Actually, it looks like a stocking cap, like the old ones the kids used to have in the winter. But anyway, they all kind of look the same, don't they? With his ears sticking out. Anyway. And here's the picture. Oops. Playing audio. Why is it playing audio? Anyway, here's the picture of him with the club in his hand. The lightning bolts, thunderbolts, they call them. And his legs look normal here. His legs look normal here. No chicken bones. And then, yes, he's got the lightning bolts. And he should have the horns headdress. Now, he don't have a horn headdress here. None of them lightning bolt things. That looks like the other gods that we were looking at earlier. Anyway, so like burr or fur. Here's the year. Here's the year I was going to show you. So from 2500 BC to 600 AD. They're still writing about it in before BC. So all the way to 600 AD. Mesopotamia, which is Iraq, Canaan, Palestine, Ugarit, Syria. Asia Minor, Turkey. That's that map we saw. The city is Thebes, I think it's called. Yeah, so 2500 BC. That's a long time. He's a storm god, just like Yahweh in the older parts of the Bible. So it's just like I said, to me, it's kind of funny how Baal is fighting Yahweh, and in the end, they end up to be the same God in Israel. Anyway. All right, so Baal Hadad inherited several aspects of the vegetation shepherd god, although he's actually a storm/war god. Remember, just like Set, god of chaos too, is Set is god equivalent to the Babylonian Marduk, the Hurrian and Hittite Teshub, and the Greek Zeus. Hadad is called the river of clouds. And in fact, check this out. Check this Bible verse out. You know, there's little hints. We've been showing them little hints in the Old Testament of these different gods, that they're talking to these different gods. So look right here. Hadad is called Rider of Clouds. Okay, that's his name. Hadad is called Rider of Clouds. All right. A title that's often used in Psalm 68:4 for Yahweh. The proper name is typically translated as the Lord in most Bibles. Isaiah uses the same tempest and fire language to describe Yahweh Sabaoth, which translates Lord of Hosts. We've heard that too, Lord of Hosts. Yahweh the army. So anyway, check out these Bible verses. Now this is, I don't know what Baal cycle is, so that kind of, some kind of writing. I did not tell thee, O Prince Baal, O Rider of Clouds. Remember, he's called the Rider of Clouds. So in Psalm 68:4, sing to God, play music to his name, build a road for the rider of the clouds. Rejoice in Yahweh, dance before him. Interesting. Now here's another one in 2 Samuel and Psalms 18:16. Look at the bold writing here. The earth trembled and quaked. Consuming fire, smoke rose from his nostrils. Consuming fire came from his mouth. Burning coals blazed out of it. He parted the heavens and came down. Dark clouds were under his feet. He mounted the cherubim and flew. He soared on the wings of the wing. The dark rain clouds, the bolts of lightning blazed from heaven. The voice of the Most High sounded. He shot his arrows and scattered the enemy with great bolts of lightning. Now, thousands of years before that, this God is around. Or earlier than that. The valleys of the sea were exposed. Okay. Deep waters, powerful enemies. So now in Isaiah 29:5-6, and suddenly, in an instant, you will be visited by Yahweh Sabaoth, Yahweh of armies. That's that name up there. With thunder, earthquake, mighty din, hurricane, tempest, flame of a devouring fire. Now, number 2, he's subordinate to El the bull. Remember, El, they think El is either his dad or his grandfather, the Canaanites think. A relation similar to Yahweh and Elohim in the older parts of the Bible. There's another, that looks like an alien. That looks like an alien. Looks like something, the Aleister Crowley thing. Anyway, so I'm going to put a link to this one up. There's a lot of scriptures that Jesus answered them is not written in your law. I said, you are gods with an S. If he called them gods to whom the word God came, the scripture cannot be broken. Do you say of him of whom the Father consecrated and sent unto the word, you are blaspheming because I said I'm the Son of God? That's interesting. 3, he defeats the multi-headed sea dragon just like Yahweh and the archangel Michael. I just heard another thing just like that. 7 heads. And they're talking about Leviathan and all that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna put a link to this. It's called Lamb. Yeah, exactly. Aleister Crowley's Lamb. Yeah. Yeah, he's a little yeah, who knows what they're into. You know what is weird about that? That Aleister Crowley bought that house, on Lake Loch Ness because they thought the Loch Ness monster was Leviathan, that sea monster, Leviathan, or it was a what would you call it? Like not a reincarnation, but a I don't know, like the thing lives on. You know what I mean? Spirit or something. Anyway. Ostrich legs, yeah, it actually looked like ostrich legs. It did. Anyway, so Aleister Crowley owned that house in Scotland. It was on a hill and it overlooked Loch Ness, so you could see if the monster. And they were summoning that thing, summoning. And then he died, and then Jim Morrison bought that house, and then Jim Morrison died, and the house burned down, and somebody else, I don't know, I saw somebody's walking through it with the video camera. Anyway, and speaking of summoning, I was thinking about this today. You know, like the people in the Bible believe that you had to call on a name of the specific God in order for that God to come. So if you want to call on Yahweh or Elohim or Baal Hadad or whatever, you had to call on the specific name because it summoned that God. Okay, if you didn't know his name, you can't call on him. So that's why Moses went and was there and said, God, we need to know your name so we can call on you, or so people can call on you. He said, I am that I am, or I will be what I will be. It's more, actually translates more like I'll be what I'll be, or something like that. And which is a little weird because all the other gods, you had to call on their name. And what do they say in the New Testament? You have to call on the name of who? Jesus. Why did? Because there's no other greater name. Okay, so see, you're summoning when you. So what about the witches of Endor? What about anywhere? What about seances? You summon that person. You summon the ghost. You summon a spirit. What about when they brought, who in the Old Testament came out, Saul or whoever, they summoned somebody from the dead? You have to call on their name in order for them to show up. So why would God say, and I'm not going to give you my name? That's a little weird. I think that's a more cover story as to why, you know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, we can't call on you unless we know your name. Because you're supposed to call on, you're always supposed to call on the God or the spirit or the demon or whatever you're trying to summon up. I mean, even on Bewitched, remember Endora, the mother-in-law? They'd like call her and she'd show up. And she said, why are you bothering me? I was just doing something or whatever. All them shows, I mean, but it's not just TV shows. The shows are reflecting what real life is. So when you go, what do they do at a seance? They summon the person. What do these singers do on stage? They summon their demon that's helping them sing songs, I guess. So why would he all of a sudden say, "No, I don't want to tell you my name"? And then later it says, "Well, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob knew me as a different name, but I'm actually Jehovah, or whatever, or vice versa." I mean, I don't know. And I do believe that you summon spirits and stuff like that, because I think when people call on Jesus' name, sometimes they get helped. But you know what? People call on Allah's name and they get help. People call on Shiva's name and get help. People call on Hadad's name and get help. People call on Baal and get help. People call on Elohim and get help. They call him Yahweh, they get help. It really don't matter what religion you are. If you summon a name, you'll get somebody. Just hope it's somebody good. But you have to call out to that person. Well, that's the whole thing about Christianity, right? You got to call on the name of Jesus. Well, that's summoning him. So, yeah, this thing about not having his name, that seems kind of shady to me. I don't know. That's weird. Like, dude, the whole point of getting a God is you got to call him out and, call on him. That's why, yeah, Christians have these amazing testimonies where they called on Jesus' name. They summoned Jesus, and he showed up. Just like people summon Allah or whatever else your God is. They summoned their God, and the miracle happened. All religions have them stories, not just Christianity. Every religion has those stories where somebody called out to their God and the God came and helped. Muslims have amazing testimony stories. Thank you. Actually, yes. What do they have? Allah or whatever? Yes, they also have amazing tests. Every religion has awesome testimonies. I just think it all comes down to the same as when you're born. Before you ever saw a Bible or went to a church or heard anybody say anything about God, you know who God is. He's watching you. You do good, he rewards you. You do bad, you get punished. Bam. That's simple. He sees everything. Yeah, where's your heart? Exactly. And you know what? You know who had a really good video? It was Neil from Gnostic Informant. He had an excellent video. And I think it was today. In fact, I'll find it. It was Christianity Stole Everything, it's called. Anyway, it goes back thousands of years before Jesus and before even the Old Testament. And they have the do unto others that you want done to you. The golden rule. That goes thousands of years before Israelites and anything else. And you wouldn't believe. I'm going to put this link up. It's only 29 minutes. You wouldn't believe it. Let me find it. It's a good listen if you guys want to listen to it. Oh, it had to be today. Hold on a second, you guys. I know I watched it today. But yeah, just how, word for word stuff from the Gospels. I don't know. Here, let me look on my notifications. The golden rule, my mom was sure to make us know that. Exactly. Do unto others just how you want to be. How do you want to be treated? Exactly how would you want somebody to treat you like that? It even had a lot of stuff about Jesus and stuff, and this was thousands of years before, like 2,000 years before Jesus. I'll just look on my notifications. Hold on a second. Not a conformant. Let me see here. And I'm gonna put a link to this if anyone wants to watch it. It's a good, really good. I put my headphones on when I was outside and listened to it. I didn't actually even have to watch it. I listened to it. Sing as slow as molasses here. Yeah, the golden rule. I can't even remember. I mean, paragraphs at a time, written long before the Bible. I mean, there. Let me just type in. All right. Huh. Interesting. Hmm. What if you change the title or the thumbnail? He had to have. I don't even see it on here. I think he changed the name of it because I was pretty sure it was today. And the thumbnail used to say, well, actually, I'll find it. I'll find it later. Put it on tomorrow, maybe. Shocking roots of the Bible. Anyway. I'll just show you the channel in case anybody doesn't know. Gnostic informant. My phone doesn't like to work when it's in this holder. Doesn't like to be squeezed. All right. Look at Baal, Asherah. Christianity, the call to the dead. Oh, it just shut back off. Origins of Judaism. Most you already know this channel, Gnostic informant. Huh. I don't know. I wonder if he took it down. I don't see it. That's why years later, when I ran into my grade school bully in high school and had the opportunity for paybacks, I wasn't about to stoop to that level. Instead, I encouraged her. Yep. Yep. And you know what? I believe people get rewarded for that kind of character. You know what they say, you can tell what your character is by what do you do when nobody's watching? You know what I mean? Are you this kind when the camera's not on? And like these people who are giving food cards out in front of somebody on the camera. Are you the same person when nobody's watching? Do you still help somebody out when nobody's watching? It's still up. Maybe I was on the wrong channel. This is weird. Because I know I listened to it today. I don't know what I was doing. I was outside with my headphones on. Anyway, I can't find it. It's called Christianity Ripped Off something. I can't remember. Anyway, weird. Seems to have disappeared off of my computer. YouTube may be going oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, I'm going to get off here, but I'm going to show you guys real quick. You wouldn't believe how many strikes I've gotten They're not striking me. They're not giving me a strike, but they've been taking down a lot of videos. I'm going to show you just recently in the last week how many videos I've had taken down. Thank God they're not giving me strikes because, and these are like from 2020, you know, with the COVIDs, Zikovids. Look at this. What's today? The 16th? All right. They're all at 3 o'clock in the morning, too. August 11th, 10th, 8th. I got two of them on 8/8. Look at 10th, 11th, 8/8, July 30th, 15th, June. Look, it goes all the way down and watch. YouTube removed your content. How many? But yeah, they're always at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Look at this. This is just right up to, I don't know, a few days ago. Yeah, on 8/8, I got two of them that night. 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, look at this. What? So yeah, if people say, oh, they removed my, yeah, did they? Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. They've been just plucking them, man, like weeds, which is fine. They can remove them. I don't care. I don't care about the old ones. In fact, I'd remove them myself. It was such a pain in the butt. So I'm really glad they're not getting strikes. My channel would have been gone, I don't know, 20 strikes ago. Yeah. Yep. This is what you wake up to. I mean, with a red horn blowing at you. YouTube removed your content. You know what they said? Sit down and shut. I know. Basically is what they're saying. I'll open up this latest one from the last one I just got. I'll show you what they say. And there's no way to even know any. Here, I'll show you. We wanted to let you know our team reviewed your content, and we think it violates our medical misinformation policy. We know that you may not have realized this was a violation of our policies, so we're not applying a strike to your channel. However, we have removed the following content from YouTube. All right, it's called Live Weekend Fellowship plus Open Chat. What? What day was that? Never mind. And a matter of fact, so you have no. So, like, what did I say? What? You just don't worry about it. You just don't do that again. All right. So I think, well, what video? What? Let me see. Let me listen to it. What? I can't listen to it? No. Yes, you cannot voice an opinion. In fact, it specifically says that you're not allowed to have an opinion. So anyway. Hey, Omar, good to see you. I was just showing all the videos I had removed. Hope you had a good day. Hope you had a wonderful Wednesday. Yeah, these are my videos they removed. Bad. Anyway, thank God they're not striking me, so I wouldn't even have a channel right now. So anyway, that's fine. YouTube can, if they feel that's what they need to do, then they can do that, you know. So anyway, good to see you, Omar. Hope you had a wonderful Wednesday. Anyway, Yep. So anyway, tomorrow's Thursday. We're gonna do a review of the Canaanite gods, and that's gonna finish the series. And next week we're gonna start something else. So tomorrow will be the last night, and we will wrap that up. God bless you, Omar. Hope everything's going well with you and your family, everybody. Uh, but yeah. So anyway, well, Grace, we hope things take a good turn for you. When it rains, it pours, huh? Remember that Morton Salt lady? Kathy, can you go over Ningo? Yeah, we can do it tomorrow. Let me see. Which one is that? Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Actually, there's a lot more we could go over. We're just like, hold on a second. Button don't work. Yeah, that was Ningo. Yeah, let me pull up the list. It wasn't Neath, was it? Ningo. Huh. Tomorrow, yeah. Yeah, we could do. I'm curious what the name means. Like, we looked up. Sure. Oh, yeah. Ningo. It's not on the list of the top Canaanite gods. Let me see. Ningo. Let me just see real quick. It's not on the list of the top 20. Ningo is, Mesopotamian goddess. The moon god. Ningo was a Mesopotamian goddess regarded as a wife of the moon god Nana Sin. Well, yeah, you're right. We just went over that one. Right here. Look at it. Oh, that's with a grandma. People call her Nana. When people call their grandma Nana, comes from this Ningo. Ningo was a Mesopotamian goddess regarded as a wife of the moon god Nana / Sin. Nana means sin. She was particularly closely associated with his main cult centers. Yeah, it's a Mesopotamian goddess. And there she is sitting in her rocking chair. Her stone rocking chair. Hard to see it. Maybe you can see it over there. No, you can't. Too dark a screen. Look at major cult center right here, Ur and Haran. There's that city again, the first city or whatever. Oldest city known. One of them. In Mesopotamia. What is Ningal, the goddess of? That was a moon god, wasn't it? Goddess of reeds in Sumerian mythology. Oh, it's more Sumerian. Well, it's Mesopotamian and Samaria. That's why, the Canaanites. The Lady Queen was a goddess of the reeds in the Sumerian mythology. Daughter of Enki, remember that and Ninkurgia, and the consort of the moon god Nana. So Nana is a moon god. Yeah. So your Nana, if you call her Nana, means moon god. Oh, man. I never called my grandma Nana. My grandpa died when I was pretty young, but I think I was barely out of high school. Oops. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, now I'm just hitting the messages left and right here. Sorry about that. And the heck. All right. All right. Well, I'll wrap up and say good night. And you know, it's really weird because it's like a rabbit hole. Once you go down the rabbit hole, you kind of all run into each other. They all run into each other. You know what I mean? They go down the rabbit hole, and all the gods are down there together, and and they all have the same names. No matter what culture you're in, it's the same god, just a different name. Zeus, Jupiter, Hadad, whatever. You know what I mean? Baal. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna say goodnight to everybody. Thanks for coming in. Good to see Grace. Good to see Omar. Anybody else that came in and visited, thanks for coming in. And if you came in on the replay, thanks for coming in on the replay. Yeah, so I think that'll do it. I'm trying to get my phone's so touchy. I gotta get back on my laptop here. See you guys. If I can find, yeah. Anyway, it goes around and around, so it does. It is crazy. We'll love you too, Grace. Thanks for coming in. Sorry to hear about your. That's a lot. That's a lot, man. That's a lot to happen all in a short amount of time. You know what I mean? Anyway, at least you got a few months before the snow flies. Hopefully. Anyway. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for listening. And hope to see you tomorrow night. Have a good rest of the evening. Sleep well, or wherever you are. Have a great day, evening, night, and have an awesome day tomorrow. Good night.